Welcome everyone, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Dark Sun Shattered Lands. This is being played on DOSBox, so unfortunately I can't really go through the intro because getting this to run with fraps is questionable at best. So, Dark Sun is a very old campaign setting from back in like 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Plays by those rules, so it's going to be a little quirky about how it handles things. The game's also kind of rather difficult, even if you do cheat, which I kind of am a little bit. So let's go ahead and talk real quick. You can actually create your own characters. It does have some pre-gens, but I'm going to go ahead and show those off real quick, assuming they actually stayed. Yes, they did. Alright, so what we can do is just add you. Actually, let's drop you. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. So you can create your own characters. Like if I want to, I can go to new and I can create a character. Essentially, you can roll your stats randomly and stuff like that, and you can go and pick any very wide range of different races in this game. Most of them are pretty familiar for anyone that's played the old school Dungeons & Dragons, and I guess current though. Compared to 5th edition, there's not very the races aren't as fancy. So you got humans, both male and female. You have dwarves, both male and female. Elves, which are both male and female, and then you have half elves that are male and female. Then you have half giants, which are kind of something that's I guess was added in for Dark Sun. And female, of course. You got halflings, male and female. A mole, which is only male, and as far as I can tell, there's not really anything too special about them. And then you have a female-only Thrycrean, which was introduced in Dark Sun. So I can quickly kind of go over some of the races. Humans are pretty much middle of the road. Their unique feature is the ability to dual class, which is a feature that is unique to it started in 2nd edition, and then it's essentially kind of how multi-classing now works in current gen Dungeons & Dragons. Essentially, you can choose to stop leveling in your current class and start leveling in a new class, but you lose the abilities of your previous class until you catch up in levels of your previous class. It's kind of weird. I've never actually done it in a game, and I don't intend to. All the other races are unable to dual class, but they can multi-class. For example, if I unclick this, there's all these classes here. If I click fighter, I can multi-class into any of the other 3 classes here. So I can go fighter, cleric, and some of them can triple class and go fighter, cleric, psionist. The main benefit of multi-classing is it gives you a lot more variety as far as your abilities are concerned, but the price is you level much slower, and because your experience gets split between all of the classes. So for example, if I did fighter, cleric, psionicist, I start at level 2 in all 3 of the classes, and essentially my experience is split evenly, and essentially as my experience gets higher, the fighter, cleric, and psionicist have their own level requirements or experience requirements for leveling. So essentially they'll gradually, very slowly level up in all the classes. Also, when you multi-class, when you roll for HP, you half it. Or in the case of triple classing, you divide it by 3, which can be a bit devastating, to say the least. I'll talk about the classes in a little bit. Let's just continue with the other fancy things. We got, yeah, I don't think there's anything else that really stands out. I mean, some of the classes have different minimums and maximums when it comes to stats. The thing that stands out the most, of course, is the half giant. The half giant, I believe, gets double HP. They also get the highest strength in the game, and it's insane how much damage they do. Like right now, this one has 21 strength, and they do 1.5 times 1d1 plus 9 damage because they're attacking with their fist. So plus 9 damage right off the bat. And if you click on these little boxes, you can actually increase your stats or lower your stats. So there's nothing stopping you from maximizing all your stats, which is what I did in all cases. You can do the same thing for HP. So at 24 strength, you're looking at minimum, like, freaking 20, like 18 damage here or something like that. I don't know. Well, let's see. 1.5 times. Okay, I think it's, assuming you're going by order of operations, yeah, you're looking at, 13 damage from just his fist, and that's without using a weapon. And then the Thrycrean is also another standout. The Thrycrean can't wear standard equipment for the most part, but they can still use like most weapons. The thing that stands out about Thrycreans is that they can attack with their claws and their bite. As they level up, they'll also get fancier abilities. They also have really high movement rates. They have the highest movement rate out of all the races, which is kind of useful in a game where you're, tactical turn-based. Essentially, even if you equip no weapons on a Thrycrean, they attack 5 times a round, because they get 4 claw attacks and a bite. And eventually that bite has a chance of causing paralysis. So yeah, these things can just shred people. It's pretty impressive. Now the catch, of course, is if you take nothing but Thrycreans, I think it's impossible to actually beat the game, because there's a part in the game where I think you have to wear boots, and these guys can't wear boots. So anyway, you can also do alignments. I don't know if the alignments actually make any difference. I don't know. Really, I honestly don't know. Anyway, for the classes, there's 2nd edition classes, so think those rules. There's the fighter and the gladiator. The gladiator is actually a quote-unquote better fighter. They actually get an additional armor class point from equipping armor. And I think they do a little bit better in melee combat than the fighter. The benefit of the fighter in comparison is they actually get the ability to do some psionics. Psionics is kind of a thing in this game, and I'm actually not very familiar with it because I never really bothered with it because it gives me a headache, but in this playthrough I will try my best to kind of figure it out as I go along. The druid is pretty standard. The way they work is they pick a elemental sphere and they can learn spells from that particular element. Cleric kind of fall on the same thing, but the difference with the cleric is what elemental sphere they pick influences what weapons and armor they can equip. Also, they get the ability to turn undead, which is not that useful in this game because there's not that much undead. Some of these classes, of course, have various restrictions on what gear they can equip. Pretty standard stuff. The Preserver in this game is actually what it's essentially the wizard in Dark Sun. The reason they're called Preservers is because the Dark Sun setting is essentially a desert wasteland, and it's essentially what happened to a world that got really high powered in magic, and then a magic war happened or something, and it literally just destroyed nearly all life on the planet. At least that's what I've gathered from it. Preservers are essentially, good casters, in the sake that they actually preserve the life around them while they're casting spells, rather than, defiling it, which is the opposite. There's the Defiler, which is the evil casters, where they literally just suck life out of the world around them to cast their spells. I apologize if I get some of this wrong. I'm bound to. The Psionicist is literally just purely focused on psionics. They actually get to learn from all the disciples. They don't have to pick any. And then there's the Ranger that eventually gets the ability to cast from elemental spheres, very similar to a Druid, but it's not until much later. They do get bonuses for dual wielding, though dual wielding's not that big of a deal because you eventually just get high enough attack bonuses anyway. They can't wear heavy armor. That's about it. They're also pretty decent with a bow. Then you got Thieves, which of course can do things like sneak around, backstab, and pick locks and things like that. I believe the sneaking in this game is broken, so I'm not going to worry about sneaking around. I will try my best to do backstabs, but I don't really care. Alright, let's go ahead and just exit out of this. So we'll go ahead and try to add some more people here, just to kind of show off what characters I did make. So we'll go ahead and put in Ren here. And I'm going to drop you real quick because I want to change the order. We'll put Sene here. I got Yugi here. And we have Yamame here. Now, when I played this, I still have the disc for this game, like actual floppy. I think it's actually with CDs. I think it was CD-ROM back in the day. But yeah, I actually had a computer that had DOS, and I played this game. And I beat it once. And the party I used to beat the game was literally 3 half-giant gladiators, and then I took a half-elf Druid, Preserver, Psionicist. Or I think it was Druid, Preserver, Thief. I didn't even bother with Psionics. And I literally just relied on raw power. But I wanted to go ahead and just try to I looked up some guides and some ideas, and essentially I'm going to be going really heavy into the multi-classing, even though it levels me slower. There's a way to kind of get experience pretty early in the game, assuming I can pull it off. So I intend on going to max level as quickly as possible, and then just going from there. The max level in this game, by the way, is 9, so you can only go up to about 5th level magics. Anyway, as for all the characters, I did max out all their health and all their stats, because honestly, we're going to need it. And we got Sune Kochia. She is a neutral good half-elf. She is a fighter, cleric, berserker. Her cleric sphere is Earth, which allows her to get the most options as far as equipping equipping gear is concerned. As for the Psionic Disciple, I believe I went with actually, it doesn't let me edit. I see. Okay, well that's good to know. Alright, well, for anyone that could only pick one Psionic Disciple or whatever, I picked the one that I think gives the most buffs. I kind of just looked up the old 2nd edition books to kind of figure that out, and if it doesn't work out, whatever, it's not a big deal. Over here we have Rin Qianbio. She is a lawful neutral elf, fighter, thief, preserver. As you can see, Thief actually levels up faster, which is why that's at 3 instead of 2. Then down here we have Yuki Hoshiguma, a chaotic neutral half-giant, fighter psionicist. And then over here we have Yamame Kurodani, a true neutral Thrycrean. Now there is alignment restrictions. If you play a druid, I believe you have to be true neutral, at least from what I can gather. It's either that or it's because I'm a Thrycrean. I don't remember which. Anyway, fighter, scientist, druid, elemental sphere is fire, so I can do, flame strikes and all that cool stuff. Alright. And then, I think that's it. I don't know what's going to happen if I, start this. This is going to be kind of a test run, to say the least. Give me one... Okay, I went ahead and just put a break in the video just in case. We're going to click start, and I'm going to let it play off. By order of the mighty and omnipotent King Tektule, all slaves fit to carry a sword shall fight in the arena. Death shall be the gladiator's payment for weakness. Let the games begin. Not sure if I need to click. Nope, don't need to click. It's been so long since I played. I played this like back when I was like in elementary school. Like this is old here. This day, the mage Selgor will battle a fearsome rampager. Watch and enjoy. Do not worry, Rin Qianbio. Your turn will come soon. Stand back and watch the battle. So this is going to show a little AI battle. 99% of the time, Selgor will die. Because a rampager is ridiculous, but I have seen it where Selgor wins. It doesn't make a difference. So he's fighting a rampager and 2 sligs. Here's the rampager. 4 damage, 20 damage, dead. Step forward into the arena. Alright. So I have some options as far as clicking is concerned. Like, I can clicking the right mouse button will switch my icon. If I right click over things like items, it'll give me some additional information. This Chakra is a ranged weapon that Thrycreans only that Thrycreans start out with. Pretty much all the characters are starting out with bone swords. That's a thing about Dark Sun, is you generally have poorer materials for weapons. So if I right click this is a bone longsword. It's 1d8 minus 1. Pretty much everyone can use it. Now if I go to inventory, I can see that some of the characters have things like leather shields. If I right click, it'll tell me that it gives an AC bonus. Now the thing about AC in this game, this is 2nd edition. Your AC starts at 10 and it goes down. The lower your AC, the better. Because this game goes off of Thako rules, which is 2-hit armor class 0, which is just some complicated nonsense. Now in this game it's a little bit different because you actually have pieces of armor, and I think that influences your overall armor as well. And you definitely want to get as much armor as possible. I think because since I'm starting with as fighters, I get the actual kind of the best defensive gear as far as starting is concerned, which is nice. Now things that can also influence your armor class is your dexterity. So the elves tend to have really high AC. Thoricarian also has really high AC. In fact, she has the highest at 0. Also, if you look at her melee attack, you can see 4 times 1d4 plus 8 and 1d4 plus 9. So that's 4 claw attacks and a bite. Down here you can see the longsword 1d5 times 1d8 plus 11. That's including the -1 for abusing bone. Then you got plus 7 and plus 7. I mean, we're going to probably be destroying a lot of the stuff in the early game, but the power levels definitely catch up because this is 2nd edition and things like demons exist. Anyway, also we have things like spells and casts. We can cast, so we can look here, we can actually see our Scion Assist in our spell casting. So here we got, looks like we have Turn Undead, Grease, Magic Missile, Shield, and Wall of Fog. So I believe this is a mixture of both. I believe this is a mixture of, yeah, it's both a mixture of, oh, I see. So if I click Mage, it switches to Cleric. There we go. So here's our Cleric spell. So we have things like Bless, Curse, Cure Light Wounds, Cause Wounds. If we right-click it, it gives us information, which is really handy. I do like how this actually gives us a lot of additional information. I apologize if this seems a bit rambly, but there's quite a bit to go through. Cause Fear, Remove Fear. Now, I don't know how reliable some of these spells are, but they exist. And you can also go up the levels. Here's the Psionics here. We have Life Draining, which can get us back health. We have Biofeedback. Improves the Psionic's AC by 1 and reduces damage from attacks by 2. So that's the things I kind of wanted, is things like Biofeedback so I can buff myself. Got Flesh Armor. Yeah. Great Weapon. Gives a +1 to hit for the weapons you have. I don't know how... The thing is, I don't really know how the power stuff works. I'm just going to kind of do the power checks and maybe hope it works out okay. Fortunately, there's a cat on my lap, so I'm just getting her off there. There we go. There's the whole person. Ah. I clicked the stuff I wasn't supposed to click. Anyway, over here we got Mage, Psionic, and that's it. Over here we have Cleric. Now this says Cleric, but this is actually Druid, but Druids and Clerics essentially have the same spells in this game, it looks like. Alright, so good stuff here. Like I said, it's going to probably be a bit of a mess, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, here it is. Psionic Kinetics, Metabolic, Telepath. So we got things like Detonate, Ballistic Attack, Inertial Barrier. Okay. And then here we can actually look up any effects that we have currently active, which we don't have any. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go save. We're going to call this, yep. Saving game, let's go. Alright, so something I just learned very quickly. Saving the game exits you out of it. So, good thing to be aware of. I guess that's supposed to stop saves coming, or it's just a limitation of the game, of, you know, old DOS games. Good to know. Alright, so yeah, you have to click. Okay, you can use the arrow keys to move, but otherwise you gotta step out here. So, real quick, the way this is set up is... give me... Alright, so as the intro kind of mentioned, any slaves or prisoners or whatever are capable of using weapons have to fight in the arena, and that's the situation where we start in. Citizens of Draj, before you is a handful of gladiators. Watch and be entertained as they fight to the death with the denizens of our land. Behold the gift of your king Tektukutile, vicious defender of Draj, the gift of battle and death. Release your horde. Alright. So, once you get into range, or if you attack, you will go into combat, and you have a certain amount of movement based off your race. Dwarves and halflings have reduced movement, Lycanians have increased movement, and as you can see we have things here. We have Sligs. This bar here represents their health. You can see their given monster level, I guess you can say. They don't really have challenge ratings in 2nd edition, but I guess this is the closest thing. You got Screamer Beetles, and that's about it. Pretty much this is pretty straightforward. And we're probably just going to go ahead and open with some attacks. So if I click on the monster, I should attack in melee. And I missed. Alright. I am missing like a champ. One down. Alright, so the Screamer Beetle actually has psionics, and they're trying to attack. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that Screamer Beetle. Well, I'll try. Okay, one down. Oh no, I took 2 damage. Wow, my guys cannot hit. These gladiators are tough, aren't they? The crowd yawns. A few are still awake to applaud. Oh, sorry for the delay. I was just resting my eyes. Attention gladiators, go back to the pens to heal your wounds. The citizens of Draj grow patient with delays. I wouldn't suggest waiting for the monsters to die of old age as an entertaining tactic. Luck seems to be on the side of the gladiators this day. Yell something back at the announcer. Not this time. Attention gladiators, go back to the pens to heal your wounds. The citizens of Draj grow impatient with delays. I want to go down here real quick. Help, water, just a little. I'll untie you. The body falls to the ground lifelessly. There's nothing on the body. So, you're supposed to actually give him water, I think, before you actually take him down. And there we can find a spear, which we'll just add to our inventory. How do I grab? Oh, I see. Okay, I understand now. There you go. You have to wait until it flashes. And here we got some shoes. How do I... Does this work? No. Okay, I think that worked. Tied up prisoner. Talk. Help me, please. Where can I get water? Who are you? I'm Renkemio. Help me, please. Should I untie you? Yes. Goodbye. Alright, we gotta get out of here. So we go back up here. The corridor leads down to the slave pens. Do you wish to continue? Yes. These are the slave pens. I'm Kurzak, leader of the guards. Follow me. I'm here to lead you to your cell. Tell me about your job. Guard work is pretty routine. I take him to the arena. Sometimes I bring him back to the pens. It beats working on the pyramid. Who's the half giant? Oh, that's the monster trainer. His name is Leg Crusher. He's not too bright, but he's good with monsters. Have many slaves escaped? No one escapes. Keep in line or else. How well guarded are the exits? The only exit you'll see is the monster that kills you. Working on the pyramid? Yes, that's where most of the people are working. Why is the pyramid being built? The pyramid is being built for the Sorcerer King. Everything's been slowed down since his disappearance. Well, that's all you're entitled to know. Could you get me some water? I'm not your water buyer, however I could sell you an empty flask if you get 40 ceramic pieces. I'm not interested. Fine, have it your way. Goodbye. Get moving, I gotta get back to work. So you gotta follow him around, and you can see here there's Leg Crusher. It's Kurzak you want to talk to, I'm just the monster trainer. What am I fighting next? Don't know, it's too early to tell. So you can talk to him to ask about what sort of things you're fighting. Eventually it gets to the point where he just can't, he will just say, if you... The way the arena works is there are certain key story events that can happen during it. as you progress through it, and eventually it gets to the point where it just the monsters get super hard. And if you can survive through those monsters, you can get quite a bit of experience. And also, if you're surviving at that point, every time you ask Kurzak what you're fighting, he's just like, I don't know, you'll probably kill him. How can I get out of here? I don't know. So the good news is it actually pauses when I switch to these other views. There is a map, and I don't remember what the command is for map. So we'll do that in a bit. As you can see, there's guards around here. I'm pretty sure if I try to like run away, they'll immediately aggro. And there are a lot of guards out here, and we're right now level 2 or 3. So, and we had enough trouble with sligs and screamer beetles. So our odds of fighting our way out of here is not particularly high. All right, go through the door. There's a place to rest down the east hall. I'll come get you when it's time for your next fight. If you want to fight before that, knock on the door. So there you go. So there's a bunch of stuff around here. I'm trying to remember how I did this. There you go. So some of these you can search. Search through the haystack? Yes. You don't find anything of interest. Also, we did pick up some items, so let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. So we got boots, which don't really do anything, but they're boots. So you know what? Let's Also right now, our 2 highest charisma characters are our elves, of course. So we'll give. Looks like Ren's been handling it. You know what? I'd rather have our good character be our face. So let's do that. There you go. She is now leader. This game does have its fair share of bugs, so be aware of that. Alright, and then right here we have a Bone Githka. Two-handed Bone Githka, 2d4 minus 1. Be used by anyone. It's two-handed, so that is a little bit limiting. Generally you want to dual wield. Let's see if this actually does anything. Let's find out. Oh, I understand what the 1.5 is, by the way. The way attacking works in this game, the number of attacks you get changes as you level up, and it's also based off your class. So eventually you'll be in a situation where you attack once a round, and then eventually you can attack once one round and twice the next round, and alternates. And then you go to like two every round, and then eventually it goes 3 and 2. Okay, so I can't do that because I'm gonna equip the shield first. Yeah, it's not really worth it. But it is worth money, I think. Yeah, it's worth a little bit of money, so I'll hold on to it. Alright, let's, I could give it to the Thrycrean, but honestly, 4 attacks is a lot better. Or 5 attacks, rather. You can also do ranged attacks with your chakra, or however you wish to call that thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and head down here. Hit the door. Doesn't open. It seems sturdy. Knock on the door. After a moment, the door opens slowly. The breeze picks up, and the room suddenly closing the door. I'm just gonna move away. Can I pass turn? Guard. So if I click myself, I get some other options like wait and guard. So the way guard works, Kusane here has a secret door shut and lock. So that's just that. Kochia finds some suspicious cracks in the wall. With a little searching, she finds a button on the north wall. There's the button. It's right there. If I click this... Oh, I think I have the mouse. There we go. Button. Use it. So then here's a click as the secret door to the west opens. Oh, it just... Oh, good, I can scroll back up. So now you receives 250 experience points. And that opens that. And now I can step through here. I can actually get the chest if I really want to, but I'm going to open it. It has 4 wooden arrows of +3 that are worth tons of money. And then here we have some bone scaled chest armor, which has an AC bonus of 2. Okay, definitely a nice upgrade. And here we have 50 CP and a gem. So here I already kind of found some secrets. Let's go ahead and go in here real quick. So this is just a gem, it's worth a lot of money. And here we got some fancy armor. I want this fancy armor to go to you, so you can actually get some better AC. Alright. Let's turn to game. There's no handle on this side of the door. Take the hinges off the door. With a little work, you completely remove the door. Alright, now time is progressing, and it can get to the point where we will get called for another fight. So I'm right now just trying to search through everything as quickly as I can. And talk to people. We got Merlon. Hello there, it's good to see you. Please forgive my appearance. I've been in here a while. I'm Sunei. It's a pleasure, Sunei. Can you help me? I doubt it. I'm not much for concocting ideas. Let's talk escape. Escape, I've considered it, but I don't have much chances of succeeding by myself. Together we could do it. I'm sick of this place. However, first we need money. How could I find money? Well, I happen to know the location of a very valuable gem. If you find it and bring it to me, I will be able to apply the proper bribes to effect an escape. Where's the gem? It was owned by a slave named Semyon. He's chained up in the arena. It's probably still on his body. So I actually have the gem already. So I actually kind of skipped ahead on that quest line. Now something about this game is some of the quest lines are red herrings. Like, I do know that if I give the gem to this guy, he will pretty much backstab me. So I'd rather hold on to the gem, and I really have other plans about how we're going to get out of here. I have nothing to discuss. Goodbye. I'm sorry you feel that way. Scar's henchman. Scar's the man you want to talk to. He's the boss. Fantastic. Alright, he's not gonna let me go through any of that. So that's Scar there. Scar is level 7. I don't know you. You must be the new gladiators. I'm Scar and I run these pens. Don't cross me and there won't be any trouble, understand? Maybe after a couple more visits to the arena we'll talk. Get nothing here. Those are Scar's henchmen. Alright, we're gonna go around here real quick. I'm not gonna bother with that door yet. Just highlighting some stuff. Let me hit M and see if that does anything. Nope. There's a key for turning on the map. I honestly do not remember what it is. Trusty. So, you're the new gladiators. Pretty scrawny. You should be thankful you're here, not in the villages. Did I ever tell you about how I got here? No. I was the victim of circumstance. I was hired by a Templar who needed a guide to Rom. He wanted to surprise his brother, so it was just us two. He was jabbering about how much he hated walking. When we were ambushed by a pack of Thrycrean, I fought off 6 of them, but the Templar died. I'm Sunei Kachia. Yes, I remember you. I'm not so old that I can't remember a name. But we haven't met until today. So we haven't? No. Well, I am the trustee, and that is what you may call me, for I haven't any other name now. No other name. What villages? Did I mention the villages? There are groups of free people who have banded together over the years. The city hates them because they work harder than city folk and won't buckle under to tactical delay. You were accused of murder. Right, I returned here and told the head Templar what happened. He accused me of setting up the ambush and threw me in the slave pens to fight as a gladiator. Now I just take care of all the gladiators. Did you win your freedom? No, nobody wins their freedom from the pens. Who else is in the slave pens? Gilal is the woman who sits by herself. Scar and his gang are in the cell in the southwest. Mirzal and his gangs inhabit the northeast. Dinos has a special cell in the southwest. Merlon, the little weasel, is in the room to the west. So Merlon is the person we met. We also met Scar. And then there's Mirzal and his gang, which we haven't met. And there's also Dinos and Galal. So let's talk about Dinos. Dinos is an extraordinary cook. When the Templar of the Pens caught wind of his talents, Dinos was taken as his personal chef. Dinos hasn't fought in the arena since. He was moved into a suite of rooms to the south. Tell me about Gilal. Or Gilal. She's a bizarre case. She was in here a week fighting in arena contests. She disappeared for about a week and hasn't been the same since. She just sits there not talking to anyone. Tell me about Mirzal. He is a tough warrior but not too bright. His gang is loyal, composed of some of the best gladiators in the arena. He would be king of the pens, but Scar's gang is more disciplined and works as a team. What can you tell me about Merlon? Merlon's ambitious, but he's a little fungus, acts all sweet and friendly till he can make some money off you. He'd sell his brother for 5 ceramics. By the way, ceramics is like gold in this game. What can you tell me about Scar? Scar's the toughest gladiator around, and in the crowd's favor in the arena. He rules the inner slave pens. How can I get to Dinos? I have a key. Go south. I'll be there in a second. Would you like to meet Dinos? Not yet. Let's change the subject. Goodbye. I have to get back to work anyway. Alright. I'm not sure if line of sight matters in a lot of these situations. Search this, please. Yes, I'll search through it. You don't find anything of interest. Here we have her. Gilal. Hello, who are you and what do you want? I'm Sine Kachia. It's nice to meet you, Sine. I'm Gilal, or Gilal. Why are you here? I stole a loaf of bread to feed my family. They were starving. I had no other choice. A neighbor turned me in for the reward money. His family was starving too. How long have you been in here? I've been here for a couple months. What's all this straw for? It's what we sleep on, of course. Dragons gladiators may be respected, but we still sleep on the cold ground. Have you fought in the arena? After I was arrested, I was immediately thrown into a gladiator with 5 other gladiators to fight a pack of screamer beetles. I was the only survivor. Luckily, I haven't fought since. What creatures do gladiators fight? Initially, all you fight are screamer beetles and sligs. Later, they throw some wild moles and renegade halflings at you. Once you get really good, they start putting you in with things like mountain stalkers. I'm glad I have never got that far. I wouldn't have survived it. Who else is in the slave pens? The only other person I've talked to is the trustee. Are there many guards here? I'm not sure. I was brought here by Kurzak, and I saw a few guards in the guard station to the north. Other than them, I'm not sure. Has anyone escaped from here? Has anyone escaped? I think... oh, my head, the pain. Are you alright? I don't know. I feel fine now. What happened? Sharp pain went searing through my head. So, she probably knows something, but can't do anything. That spot there, by the way... Oh, by the way, I can scroll beyond my actual position. Which... Did you stash the stuff in the haystack? Quiet, someone's outside the door. Mirzal. Go talk to Scar and his men. Maybe they could use some raw recruits. Ha! I'm Sonekuchiya. What do I care about your name? What your name is? I'm Mirzal, and I'm the toughest son of a rampager you'll ever meet. Listen, Sladbait, I'm in charge. You can very quickly get into a combat here, by the way. Yeah, I'll return later. I'm not gonna mess with them. Don't bother trying till you've fought it at least once more in the arena. You don't have any idea what you're doing yet. Fair enough. Is it time to break out yet? Shh, not yet. Get this empty water pot. And over here, we have this door that we can open, and in here we can go to this. Search of the haystack, yes. Reaches her hand to the haystack and comes out with a crudely made bone needle. Sonae Kachia receives 10 experience points. I think that applies to the entire group. I think you can keep searching as well, and if you keep searching, you take some damage as a... Yeah. Reaches out her hand into the haystack and comes out with a small bug which crawls out of your hand. Bug. Nothing of interest. Okay. So if you use this, it's a resting point, restores you to full, restores all your spells. Alright, well, I do have some time it looks like, so I'm going to go ahead and head down here. Take care of this last little bit of stuff. The door is locked, it appears quite sturdy. I do believe we have, we'll switch to you. Maybe you can pick it. The door is locked, it appears quite sturdy. Try to pick the lock? Yes. It remains locked. I ain't done with you. You successfully picked the lock. So I don't actually need that guy to help me with that. Now one thing I can also do here is if I open my inventory, actually, you know what? We'll just keep it on you. Would you like to fill up the water jug? Yes. You receive 200 experience points. So now we got a filled water jug. And then... Ren Cambio, get up here. It's your turn in the arena. Alright, well, looks like we're gonna have to talk to him later. And we need to go say hi to these people. So if I do something like this, yeah, I can actually just scroll up and not have to constantly tap the arrow key. Good thing you got here. I thought I was going to have to send leg pressure. The crowd is waiting. Get moving. What am I fighting next? They'll throw some moles and halflings at you, I suppose. Give us a good show. Draw the battle out enough to make it interesting. Alright, let's enter the arena. But what I'll probably do is call this a video. As soon as this finishes loading. Alright. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Dark Sun. Dark Sun's Shattered Lands, I believe is what it's called. See you guys next time.